Hey, what's up, guys? It's Henry, and I want to quickly talk about Rousimar Palhares. Palhares. I don't know how you say his name, but I want to talk about how he got fired from the UFC, and I just want to give you guys my thoughts on it. Now, I didn't get to watch the fight live, but I did see the fight, and I gotta tell you guys, man, I think the UFC overreacted. I think they overreacted. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say, oh, what he did was okay, or he shouldn't get punished for it. I mean, what he did was fucked up. It was, but I think the punishment was a little too much. All right. Let's watch the end of the fight right here.
Sits in for that leg again. Pierce may be in trouble. Palhares has a collection of legs back home, and he's out. And how about that? 30 seconds in.
Now, if you watch that, he didn't let go when Mike Pierce tapped, but he did let go when the ref jumped in. And after watching that, I just started asking myself, like, exactly when do you let go of a submission? Is it when the guy taps or when the ref jumps in? Because little things like this can get really confusing, especially for a fighter who's not American, a fighter who does not speak English. Little stuff like this can get really confusing. Again, I'm not making excuses for the guy, I'm just asking questions. What if this guy sincerely, honestly didn't mean any harm? What if he was just in the moment? What if that's all that happened? I remember reading an article where his manager, Alex Davis, said that Paul Harris told him that he honestly didn't feel the tap. And I gotta tell you guys, I completely 100% believe him. Because when you're in the moment, man, you just don't really feel these things. I mean, look at John Jones. The dude had his toe snap in the middle of a fight, and he didn't even feel it. He didn't feel that shit when he was doing a cartwheel after the fight. You know what I'm saying? He didn't feel that shit until Joe Rogan pointed it out. That's when he was like, oh shit, my toe is bent the other way, So I'm just saying, maybe he just did not know that the guy tapped. It's possible. So I completely believe Paul Harris when he said he didn't feel the tap. And not only that, he let go when the ref jumped in. It's not like, when the ref jumped in, he held on even longer. From what I watched, it seemed like he let go the second the ref jumped in. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think his punishment was a little extreme. First of all, the UFC denies him of his win bonus after a spectacular win. He submitted this guy in just 31 seconds. And something else that bothers me about the whole thing is why the hell was that decision made so quickly? Like within 24 hours. I mean, you couldn't give the guy a week. Say a week to investigate this thing. You couldn't call the guy, sit down with them, talk about it, see exactly what happened. I mean, you just fire the guy the next day. It just seems a little too much, just a little too extreme. I'm not Dana, okay? I'm not a businessman. I don't own the UFC. I'm just a good old MMA fan. So what do I know, right? What do I know? And maybe the reason why he got fired is because he's done this stuff before. In defense of the UFC, this is not the first time that Paul Harris has done this stuff. Apparently, he was suspended for 90 days by the New Jersey Athletic Control Board for doing the same damn thing at UFC 111. So maybe that's why the UFC was so quick to fire him. But still, I still think they should have waited a little bit. But oh well, it's happened. It's happened. Nothing we can do about it. And this shit sucks. The reason why it sucks is because I really would have loved to play as this dude in EA UFC. You know what I'm saying? And now that he's no longer in the UFC, who knows? Who knows? He might not even be in the game anymore. And this thing blows, man. It just fucking sucks because all the fighters that I would have loved to play as, Chet Congo, Rampage, John Fitch, Yushin Okami, and now Paul Harris. Fuck, Jesus, man. Just keep firing all these dudes, man. It's just messed up. I really hope all these dudes make it in the game because I really want to play as these dudes. Especially a guy like Chet Congo and Rampage Jackson. I'd love to play as these guys, but whatever, man. Whatever. This whole thing is just getting ridiculous. But do you think, the UFC was right to fire this dude? I don't know. Like I said, it's just my opinion. I think they could have waited. I think they could have given some time. I think they could have talked about this thing. But what do you guys think? Do you think that it was right to fire him as quickly as they did? Do you think it was justified? Leave a comment below. Let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in 2 days. Stay safe.
Palhares has a collection of legs back home, and he's out.
seconds in, Rousimar Palhares.
You know what he's going to do, but he's always dangerous. This is the equivalent of that one